This is Chokehold Chatter.
When I'll start.
I'm recording now, so it's just kind of whenever.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
I forget what number this is. It's been a long time.
It
I don't
doesn't
think we've
matter.
changed too much. I mean, we lost Nick. He used to be the background
He used to be the
person.
background superstar, yeah.
We
Now,
have a new background
now Nick
superstar.
lives in
Say
the
hello
house.
to
Now Nick lives in the house, and I have a tiny
Amanda,
house.
right?
So yeah, Amanda, that's her name. Yep.
Yeah, she's the new one.
Nick's still in the intro though, so Nick's still the welcome to Chokehold
Still,
Chatter guy.
he's still in our heart. He's
Yeah.
still in our heart. So
I am gonna make a new video with I'm gonna do one with every kid where I'm choking them out and they do the welcome to Chokehold Chatter thing.
you gonna do it with your own kid too,
Oh, dude, when I get my kids, hell yeah, especially Alexander, he'll love it. Oh my
dude.
god.
And then
Exactly.
I should have done it when I was in Indiana with Bolton last week. So.
Exactly. For the spirit of Halloween. For the spirit of Halloween, I'll wear a Halloween headband. I'm just kidding. I'm not wearing that.
I would say I think I gotta look the last time we did this, but I think did you the Linkin Park concert? Did we ever
It
talk
was
about that?
right before, so we stopped right before you went to Linkin Park concert because I was here
Yeah,
when you got the tickets.
yeah. I got the
Yeah.
Linkin Park. Well, I went out to California for work, and then it kind of worked out that they had the first concert when they came back. They got the girl singing, Emily,
Yeah.
and I was like, I always want to go to a Linkin Park concert, and everything kind of just fell in place between syncing it with Zach, figuring out what should I do. I've never been to a concert. There's a lot of fucking people in LA. Whole logistically why I'm there for work, staying through the concert, um, going, to the concert and just having a baller time. Um, Concerts, I got all the merch. That was a very kind of expensive night because merch is stupidly expensive in Cali and LA, but it's such a memory. Like it's like I feel like if I went to WrestleMania, like you spend unnecessary money too, because I'm like I could have probably bought this, you know, later online or something. But when you're physically there, it's a whole different. Damn, they suck you in.
So
But it was
so
great.
explain to me the concert. Was it good?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean they haven't had like all the new songs since then. They only had one new song. I actually like their second one, Heavy's the Crown, a lot more than Emptiness Machine. A lot of people get down to that one too. It's pretty good. But I like Heavy's the Crown. It's more of like that like core Linkin Park, I feel like. But she did a much better job singing, surviving through like fucking 30 songs.
Yeah.
Um Grandson was good in the opening act, and yeah, it was just it was a good time. It was a really good time, So
Hey,
yeah, I think she did pretty good.
also, I wanted to drop this bit of knowledge on this podcast. So while we've been gone, I've been striking a sponsorship deal. So
Okay.
now, if you use code Chokehold at checkout at Ozark Computer Works, you get 25% off. So there you go. Sponsored by
Yeah,
Ozark Computer Works. All
hell
your
yeah.
works in computer repair and purchasing, buy, sell, and trading. And we also buy, sell, and trade in video games now. So
I'm glad
there you
you
go.
continued my story where I have left off in the tech realm. Now I'm a product guy, as they call it. Like you have continued my story. You get to finish the story. My story as the tech guy. It's funny, like you and John. So
Well, I mean, no, John's not a tech guy. John works in
yeah, I mean, kind of like
no.
he's still anybody who's like, may I fix your computer? Like I don't do that unless like everyone's out, red alert, somebody didn't do their job. I'm like a strategist now, which is weird.
I
I'm
remember
like
when
the
we used to
you know
sit. I remember when we used to sit in Skype calls, and you would show everyone how to work TW because of all the
yeah.
files you had to move and
I'd
everything.
be like, all
Dude,
right,
that was a
guys, you
nightmare.
need to move this. What's funny is like we were like 15 at that time.
Yeah,
Here it is, like 11 years later now.
yeah. And the funny part is,
Life's
we
gotten a lot
still play
easier
those
too.
games.
Yeah, Gotten a lot easier now, but yeah.
Pro wrestling. I'm telling you right now, I don't care who, if anyone listens to this game. If you want TW to sell, make it as easy as Pro Wrestling Sim. I don't have to move nothing. I don't
Yeah,
have to
it,
move nothing.
a lot of people been messaging me about streaming, recording more TW9. Life is just getting busy, like to sit on that game in particular. Like
Yeah.
PWS is such a quick turn it on, just get going. But that there's a lot of logistic stuff to do, and it's a lot slower of a system. Like
Like
for me
I
to go day
know
to day, it's just a lot slower.
like I know you guys
So
were mad that I disappeared for a while, but like I had a lot of shit going on. Like
yeah,
I
sounds like
I took a more serious role at work, and between work and trying to be a full-time boyfriend, and like I've been coming more of a part of my family, which is weird because like anyone that knows me knows that I've always been kind of the black sheep of my family. And now they look at me as, and I'm not gonna say tribal chiefs. Calm down, I'm not going that way. But they look at me as like an enforcer. Like they look at me like I've been building fucking canopies and shit outside. Fuck, I had to beat up a possum last night. That was fun. So my grandma has this gigantic German Shepherd, and it was barking up a fucking storm. She'll make an appearance later, I promise you. She will come to this door and bark.
Yeah,
And
don't walk out at a certain time.
yeah, and so she was barking like a lot, like an overabundance, and I knew like something was wrong. So like I open my door and I see her like trying to jump the fence and get something. So I walk over to the fence and it's like pitch black outside, and I see it on top of the fence. It's a possum, and I grabbed this like 2x4 thing and I just like walked up to it and I was like, called me Babe Ruth, and I smacked the shit out of it.
it's crazy.
Yeah, which by the
And
way,
there's like murderous screams.
yeah, and then like so the high school that's right behind us had a big time Halloween football game. So when they all got all the kids got off the bus, all the teachers scared the shit out of them. So while I'm beating up a possum, there's murderous screams going on. My girlfriend's laying in bed like he's either dead or killing somebody, and I'm just laying right here. Like I don't know what's happening. Like
I wasn't about to get up
Just
and
figure it
like.
out in the morning,
she was
if
not
he
gonna be
comes in.
that typical white bitch in a horror
No,
movie.
fuck it.
Like freaking out.
I grew up in a bad area. I know to stay put when you hear noises like that.
So that's kind of what's new with me. Other than I got to make some vehicle repairs, but like
Oh my god.
other than that, I've just been taking a more serious role at work, and like my boss actually asked me about the podcast. He's like, "Hey, dude, I don't have nothing to listen to at work anymore. You and Dom got to do a new podcast." So he was kind of
Here we are. Here we are, man. Yeah, this one's for you,
Is that what
the
they're saying?
Ozark gang.
At work,
But
they're saying?
real talk, because this just seems very I think something you may relate to.
yeah,
So I've always tried to have like that separation of like work life and like online gaming life,
yeah,
like separation of like church and state essentially.
yeah,
But a lot of like new hires recently are actually around my age. Like typically, like I was the youngest person hired at the
yeah.
time.
I
I was
remember
like
that. Yeah,
22, and like everybody else is like late 30s, 40s, whatever. Like got families, all that, you know. But now we got a whole bunch of new hires, and they're like my age, and they're like, "Yo, you seem really chill. Can I add you on Discord?" And I had that like hesitation moment of like, but I was like, whatever. But it's so funny now, like I see them and they're on like West Coast, like all of them. None of the India gang. So
okay.
they're really big on like Instagram for some reason. They like adding me on Instagram and like sending videos of like their
I'm
festivities, but
still
they're not
big in
like
India.
Discord. I'm still big in India. There's no like, Discord gaming with them. But
Hold
I've
on,
played Black Ops
hold
6 with a
on.
bunch
Do you
of West Coast
remember?
guys.
Do you remember when I landed in an Indian magazine? Do you remember that?
Oh,
Yeah, so when we were doing DRW, back when the days of the Indian warriors that showed up, Subrajit, He-Man, all those guys, Warlord Victor.
yeah,
Yeah, so I didn't know that Warlord Victor, his real name was like Subrajit something, I can't pronounce his last name. Shout out to you,
yeah,
buddy. He like put in, it was an Indian magazine that was about online gaming, and apparently like we had a lot of views because like remember that's when we were rocking like trying to do a Facebook page with it along with the group, and then our podcast stuff was happening. Like we were huge in India. Like
yeah. I
I
mean,
was
it's
in
like
the
the
top
Rinka
one.
King, dude.
Yeah, I was in the top 100 like trending thing. And granted, I guess India's big, so if you're in the top 100, that's not hard to do. But like, there's a billion people that live there. It's like I'll take it.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of
I'll take it.
yeah, exactly. That's a lot of eyes still, you
Yeah,
know.
I'll take it, dude. Like, so a lot of there's actually an Indian guy that comes in to my shop sometimes, and he looks at me and he saw I was wearing a wrestling shirt, and he goes, "Wrestling cool," and I went, "Hell yeah, brother." That was the end of it, but yeah, I got a lot of stories about those guys. We'll tell off the podcast with their computer repairs.
They but at first it was like, just the 9 to 5 for work, and now it's been like, okay, now they do their 9 to 5, but it's 8 o'clock my time when they get off, which is funny. Shout out to any of them watching. I know a couple of them might be watching, but also, why are you playing Overwatch during work hours? Just gonna put that out there. I'm not naming any names, all right?
That's not even a good
So,
game. Quit telling me it's good. It's not even a good game.
I'm not an Overwatch guy. I didn't want to break their heart, but now I guess I'm breaking their heart right now.
So speaking of
I'm not
games
sure
real
Overwatch guy.
fast. Speaking of games real fast, I fell in love with video games again. So
Well, that's good. On the PC?
PC and PS5.
Red Dead came out on the PC while we were gone.
What did?
Red Dead 1 and
Red
Undead
Dead
Nightmare.
1?
Red Dead 1 and the DLC came out.
Whoa, that's big.
The DLC is really good. It's Undead Nightmare, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. So
50. I think it's like
Dragon
50
Ball
bucks.
Sparking Zero.
Oh my gosh, we need to fucking play that. It is in. We could do a whole podcast just on that game right now, but I won't go on that
It's
side
so
tangent.
good.
It is phenomenal. It's the shit. It's the greatest thing since like whatever that rock expression is, man. Like, dude, I have modded the shit out of it. I have beaten and made so many people cry that they won't play with me anymore, and it's so sad. Like, Bolton won't play with me, Declan. It's like 2 other random people that showed up out of the woodwork that saw me playing it. Like, I'm not even like super competitive. I just love the game. It's just so much fun.
My nephews won't play with me because if I land on Gogeta, I'm spanking their ass.
Dude, I'll be like freaking Cybermen still whooping ass out there. Like, it doesn't matter.
So me and Roman we'll hit like random like 5 times, and then we'll play against each other because he's got PS5 now thanks to ya boy. So I was Gogeta, and he was, I think he's the first time I played him he was Frieza, a Cyberman, Krillin, and then Piccolo, and I spanked his ass with all of them. So, and then but yeah, no. So Sparking Zero is really good. Black Ops 6, I have mixed opinions about, but it's pretty good in my opinion still.
It's much better than last year. That was so full circle. That's the game I've been playing up until like 2 in the morning because, like I said, they're on the West Coast side with some of my coworkers. Because it's so weird now. I have coworkers my age instead of like in the 40s, and so they're like, "Can we add you?" And now it's like we've kind of been gaming together, which is a little weird to then be gaming, hanging out with them, talking shit, and then 10 o'clock in the morning talking work and business, and then we've been doing that more frequently outside of also life stuff.
So Diablo 4, the Vessel of Hatred came out, and remember, I pre-ordered that game when it first came out, and it pissed me off because when Season 1 dropped, you had to make a new character to get everything. Well, not anymore. That's not how it is anymore. So me and Amanda Amanda got into it. Amanda's been playing Diablo 4 like a motherfucker. I've beaten it already. So
I don't even want to talk about it.
Paragon
we were
level
about
20.
to beat Lilith on mine,
and then the power went out.
I was pissed.
So, Diablo 4, Black Ops 6, Sparking Zero. There's another game I started. Well, Madden, of course. Oh, so Phasmophobia dropped on the PlayStation last week.
Yeah.
Ricky got it for the PlayStation. I have it for the PlayStation and the PC. Roman's got it because, Nick has it. We were all playing it. I hate it now, but it's still good. Like, I've
always hated it, but not for the reason that it's bad, just because I don't like being scared when you do that shit. This guy over here, this motherfucker over here, let me tell you what. Connor, my brother, was like 11 or whatever. Like, he was like starting to be a little shitter at that time. Connor's over here, he's like, take this and start just chanting random bullshit at the demon. And it's like, he's over there, he's like, fuck you, Mary Poppins, and then like screaming Bloody Mary 7 times, and then the thing shows up and starts murdering the whole crew. Like, and everyone is just mad because I forget who else you're playing with.
Chaos.
It was like Haig or Jeremy, but you got them killed, and then you got yourself killed. I'm just trying to hide in the van, and Bolton's over there like screaming death chants to get us all killed. Like it is. He like Connor knows like the things to go pick up, and it's like go stab the voodoo doll or whatever, or get the
Yep.
glass, go fucking make a pentagram or some crazy shit. Like he was doing some wild stuff just to throw off the
No,
game.
so the Blood Moon event was really cool in that. So the Blood Moon event, you walk in and the house has pentagrams everywhere. So not just in one
Good
area of the
God.
house, just pentagrams everywhere. And the ghosts are like were super violent during the Blood Moon and shit like that. But the game was good. It just like they've taken some things out that like mattered. Like the UV light doesn't matter anymore because fingerprints are not a part of the evidence anymore. It's just like freezing temps, EMF reader, ghost writing, uh, spirit box, dots, and sun ghost orbs. That's all the evidence there is now.
Is that only for PlayStation or PC also? I'm guessing.
I have not jumped on the PC version just to double cross them and see like what's going on. But like
I wonder
on
if
the
it's crossplay.
PlayStation, yeah, I know it's crossplay, yeah. But I got on the PlayStation one and like they have an item shop now for it, to where it's like you can keep stuff in your inventory and still bring stuff into the game itself. Like it's actually like it's cooler now with that. But like
Yeah,
all the stuff's
like
like
a
super
walker,
expensive.
you know.
But like you have
Yeah.
to be level 30 to get a tripod now. Yeah, back in the day it was like level 5 because it was one of the main
Yeah,
things you needed.
yeah, you need that to kind of progress in a lot of things.
Yeah. But I mean it's not Phasmophobia is fun as hell still. But yeah, then Diablo 4, yeah, Black Ops 6 and all that. And then Fortnite, did you see the new thing with Fortnite's new season?
Tonight, yeah, it was like Ice Spice, Juice World, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, a
Yeah,
bunch of like
Ricky.
rapper themed stuff. Looks like.
So Ricky was getting like everything in the trailer was getting more and more excited for, and then the end happened, and he's a big Juice World fan, and Juice World's like overlooking the ocean thing, and he sees him, and Ricky like started like almost sobbing because he's a big Juice World fan.
Yeah,
Like he's getting 999 tattooed on his wrist.
he that's because you could look at it either way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's I think it's gonna be free actually. That skin. I heard something about that skin is like they're just giving away for free.
Yeah, apparently
I
that's
guess
what
just
Ricky
in
said. Yeah,
remembrance.
I'm supposed to jump on
So,
later and try to snag it, but
I think you have like a whole month to get it though. Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
think
have
it's
to
like
wait till the 30th. Yeah, because that's when the
yeah.
finale drops. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing after that, but
That's a pretty cool thing to do for them. You know.
yeah. Hey, also, you know what? I'm putting this out here for the plans for 2025 right now. Somehow, some way, Dominic, we're gonna do a podcast in person.
I would hope so. We got to make it work now with between my girlfriend, your girlfriend,
Look, my girlfriend is down for anything. Your girlfriend's just gotta be down for it.
my family, your family, things going like who knows who you might have to, you might end up going to a wedding in like 2025 or 2026. Like things are getting
Hey, dude, I'm here
crazy in
for it.
life, bro.
You might be
Like you
going to a
just
wedding in 2025, 2026. Who knows?
yeah, between there's a lot going on. So we just need some good momentum and it's just expensive. So hopefully both, work wise for us goes well. They have me going out to California now like 5 times a year. Like I am nonstop traveling between work, girlfriend, like family, my brother, all that, people like aunt, uncles, cousins. Like it is crazy. Like I am like this was my first weekend in a couple where I'm just chill, staying home. Like I'm even like, do I really want to go out and get Chick-fil-A? Like I just
The one.
want to chill, watch Crown Jewel or whatever. Probably like no craziness. So.
So like, I know that I'm still legally married and all that shit.
Carl's
But
like, boo.
but I asked her to marry me in the past like week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, yeah. So that happened. So as soon as I get divorced, I'm gonna go right back into the pit we call marriage. So, but yeah. So big things about. By the way, you said Bolton. Update me on the bald, no eyebrow kid.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't like Bones Nine that like I hear from like in the morning and then he'll do school, and then by the end of the evening, like he kind of just naps a bunch. He's kind of like more low energy. So that's why you probably don't see him as much, like recording wise, stuff like that. And we kind of live in the moment. So I have a lot of like videos here and there with him. Like if you follow like the weird stuff like Instagram and all that of mine, like post them there, but nothing like YouTube wise as much as we did in the past when he was younger. More fun, no offense, but like you know, he's he's good. He is completely bald, no hair, nothing at all. It's just a weird like he did the chemo, lost it, it grew back. It was really like curly and crazy looking, like
Yeah, I
he's
remember
never
that.
had
Yeah, he had
that
the
look,
carrot top. Yeah.
you know. But then he lost all of his hair, like it started falling out, and then it just like all like pretty much fell out. I don't know if it's from the medicine or whatever. And he's hella skinny. He's 1 inch taller than me. He's like my height, maybe 1 inch taller than me now. So, but he is like hella skinny.
So is there like
So,
any update on like?
but he's the same asshole you guys know and love. Don't worry. He tried wrestling me, and I put him in a triangle choke. Put him in his place. I would never hit him or anything like that, but I put him in his place. He was like throwing punches.
Acknowledge me.
He doesn't. I don't know what it was. He never knew how to like play fight. You know, he didn't learn if fucking wrestling was scripted, and we script it here too. So he just thinks like we're just going at it like a UFC match. So yeah, I had to put him in his place and triangle choke him, which was funny. But no, he's the same like dude you guys know and love. Is still the same asshole. But he's healthy. He's just kind of still low energy, and yeah, I mean, not much really changed. Like, just think of him as
Like
he just
so.
taller, skinnier, and balder now. Different. He just has different looks throughout this.
So like is I don't know how to ask this without sounding like an asshole. So
To go
like
for it.
is that is that going to harp his like life at all? Like
Like permanent, like
yeah,
baldness.
yeah,
I don't think so. So like when I saw him and like seen him before,
yeah,
like I think it's like slowly growing back. Now it's like very, very slow.
yeah.
Like very, very, very slow. Like it's not like a I shave my head tomorrow or shave like just shaved my beard for the no shave November, and it's probably gonna grow back within a week. Like the beard
I
is
shaved
in
my
that
neck
stage.
beard. I shaved my neck beard yesterday.
I'm proud of you. Declan and I, when I was there, and he was
Happy that, yeah.
yeah, when we were hanging out, we were talking about your neck beard, and he was saying, he should get one of those.
Look,
So
Declan, listen to me, brother, because I know you're gonna listen to this, and you're
yeah,
basically
right.
family, and you're basically family, Declan. Listen, just go for it, man. Look, there's nothing I do that's special. All right, the only thing I do is I put this everyman Jack beard palm in my beard every day.
I think you should do hair wise what you do, like shave the sides, just long
Look,
ponytail for.
brother,
Really
I was
bald.
talking about that today, and my boss is like, "What has stopped you from just like doing a new hairstyle?" And I said, "Commitment. I've been committed to this hairstyle since 2016. It was
Yeah.
the last hairstyle my son picked out, and I've just rolled with it ever since.
And you're not allowed to cut
Yeah.
your hair off.
I'm not gonna cut it off. I would never cut it off, but like I would do something. I have thought about doing something different.
No, no.
I thought about rocking the Alistair thing, where it's like the sides, but like he grew
Yeah.
like the back.
hmm
So like I thought about that, but like I don't like that ponytail. It looks too much like a rat tail. So
Truly though, I feel like you and I, a good bit of people too, like even my brother, back to like the whole bald aspect. We're getting to like our next stage, like our 2025 like evolution, or fucking Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan evolution. Because like, I was talking to a bunch of coworkers too, and they were saying, from when I was 22 first showed up versus now, like I was a little skinny, like
you were
anorexic
fucking yeah,
good.
dude. Remember we
So
watched a
now I
podcast.
can
We watched a podcast from like 4 years ago.
hell shit too. Still
Yeah,
kind of
dude,
bad,
it was shit. This is actually way better.
but
And
I'm just like normal weight, and now I got like this is the newest one. It's kind of a little blurry right now, but eventually it becomes a sleeve, and
the
then
fact that you have a
connect everything.
tattoo in 2024 blows my mind because I remember how much shit I got from you for this one because you're
Because
like
it's like
that's
it says
permanent.
con
You're
man.
like that's
I have a
permanent.
lightning bolt right here,
Yeah, but that
but
even
like
don't you lie to me, you son of a bitch. I know how much that lightning bolt you were in and out on because I remember the
no,
discussions of
no,
tattoos.
No, I maybe it's like ooh, it's painful, like at like what
Pussy.
16, but now I was like
Pussy.
tattoos cool, like
Same.
fucking CM Punk's my favorite, like one of my favorite wrestlers, like Shawn Michaels has tattoos, you know what I mean?
I
So
forget that
like,
Shawn Michaels has tattoos.
yeah, Punk's gonna
Yeah.
be the reason at fault that eventually that's the design I want to kind of go for is like the you know, from arm to arm, chest across. I don't think anything belly
Look,
back needs
look.
any of that, but
Dude,
Until you
stay away from
join
your
the
thighs.
cult, until you join the cult of the Too Sweet tribe that's on my leg, I don't want you to say anything. All
I
right.
push shit.
Stay
Like
away from
I
your
don't think I'd ever do
thighs.
that one.
Well, see, so I have it on my leg.
Mhm.
Corbin, I think, still has it on his arm if he hasn't covered it up yet. Uh, Allen's got it. Um,
So we need like a wrestling tattoo thing in like our little group. Like Zach and I, we want to get the Linkin Park thing,
yeah,
but like we need a little wrestling tattoo thing to kind of bond everyone together. Like the lightning bolt thing is kind of like you know,
that's good.
symbolically me and my
Yeah.
brother. This is my career, the like faith, all that. So like, I mean, for me, it's getting tattoos that mean stuff, you know,
You
with
know,
people and been there forever and memories and
I
things, you
was
know.
just talking
Right.
about a friendship like mine and yours because if you look at like our history, we
Mm.
could not be more polar opposites. I came from a broken home. I was a druggie. I did horrible things. I never went to jail though. I did horrible things and shit like that. Never been religious. You super religious, grew up in like a single mother household because your
Not
dad was
say super religious.
not
when
okay.
I
Oh, okay,
yeah,
hold on, buddy. I remember the conversation about who shall not be named, and, and when they did their thing, and you were like, "God's gonna
because they
send
were
them
a
to
piece,
hell."
cause they were a piece of shit though.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I wouldn't say super religious. You're religious, and it's just funny because like you're one of my brothers. Like we are very close. Like I have so much amount of love for you, and it's weird because like me and my boss PJ, my best friend, another one of my best friends was talking, and we were like, a religious person and non-religious person cannot be best friends, and I said that's a fucking lie. Like Dominic is
Nah, it's
religious. Like
fun. Zach, I mean, like all of like, I have more. I'm not gonna name drop anybody on this podcast right now at my age, but I have more people I'm closer with that are not religious than those that are. I feel like, yeah.
well, yeah,
Here's a
John too.
perfect
Yeah,
example. A lot of my like I mentioned my coworkers that I'm like game with, talking with, dude, they're Hindu or Jewish.
I
Like,
found
there's a
it.
ton of like Jewish and Hindu, religious people
I found it.
in my company that I'm chill with. So I think it's more just like not being an ass. Like when I think religious, I'm thinking like this is my religion, live or die. If you don't follow, you're dead. Like that. I'm more of just like a this is like my code of conduct. Which even then, like there's different layers of like those who'd be like, oh, you should never tattoo yourself or anything like that. But I'm like, there's
I
also that
remember
layer back
back
and
in
the
the
people
day
said never get
though.
a haircut.
Back in
So
the day though, you had some strong morals about tattoos.
I was like fucking 15. I was like
I
15,
know,
16.
but
But
that
I
was
don't
like
know.
one of the
I don't think
that was one of the ground foundations of every fight we would be in. You'd be like, "You're marked. You have tattoos, and I don't. I'm pure." And then you'd go on your CM Punk straight edge rant.
Well,
And
yeah, because I was like 15 and you were 15. You had tattoos and I didn't. So, and now here it is. My
Get tattoos at 15.
brother is
13.
talking about wanting to get tattoos. Or also, what would you think about that? How would
Bold,
you think about Bald Bolton getting some tattoos to cover up his
bro. He's
body?
got to get flames on his head. He's got to get flames on his head.
Oh, dude, get the fucking
Bam, bam,
oh my
Bigelow.
god, Bam Bam, yeah. Oh my gosh,
My
no, because I want
boss.
him to get a job though. Like,
So
there's
my
a
boss, one of my best friends. He's bald. Like so, like it's also a new thing. Every time I see a bald guy, me and him yell, "Bald guy!" But anyway,
It's
he's got
you like
tattoos
rub
on
his
his
head
head.
for luck,
He's got. I do
like the
rub. I
Dragon
do.
Balls. You're collecting them.
I do. I rub his head every day. But he was just shaving his head today. I walked up, rubbed it, and I said, "Oh, baby, smooth." Anyway,
He has
he's got.
tattoos on his
Yeah,
head?
he's got like a king thing on his
Oh
head.
yeah.
He's got something
Bolton
else
is
on his
not,
head,
by the way.
and he's got something else over here. It looks good. Like he makes it work, and he's got like sleeves and shit. So he looks good. He's a good looking guy. Like one of
Yeah.
my best friends. We're a little gay. He
But
told me the other day. He
he's
told
already
me,
established like owner. Like he's the owner of that, right? Yeah.
yeah. So he owns the
Yeah. So he's
company.
already established.
He owns the company, and I'm the lead technician. And I know he's gonna watch this later, and that's gonna irritate the shit out of him. So that's
Oh,
just
is it one of
warning.
those like not by title or pay, but
So
you're
look,
doing the
brother,
role?
neither one of us have a title, but like when people call and they're like, "What's your title?" I got
I'm the
stumped
co-owner.
one day. I got stumped one day because this old lady called,
Yeah.
and bless her heart, I just seen her today, and she's one of the sweetest old ladies I've ever met. She goes, "Connor, what's your title?" And I was like, uh, uh, lead technician." And like it's been a like running joke in the shop now because PJ will be like, he'll get a phone call from somebody, and they'll be like, "Hey, I spoke to the lead technician, and PJ just shoots daggers at me." He's just like, "You son of a bitch! Like, how dare you start that now?" And so, like, every time he's like, "Who do you think you are?" I'll be like, "The lead technician." So, and it's just me and him that work there. It's just me and him. So it's mainly me now. It's mainly me. You stayed home a lot, but it's me and him. So it's a 2-man shop, and we rock out most of Northwest Arkansas. So I will tell you, I have a newfound respect for you.
For me.
So back in the day, I remember you were slamming PCs together like nobody's business,
Yeah.
walking us through how to do it, and all of our dumbassery back in the day of the Skype calls.
Here's
I've
how to
been,
drag a file out of WinRAR
yeah,
in
I've been having to
like
do
zip
that.
file hell.
I've been having to do that, and when I'm doing it, I get like these PTSD Vietnam flashbacks of the fucking Skype call days of you having to walk us through this shit. And like that's how I remember how to do most of it because I'm like, oh, imagine this is a TW file. I have to drag it here, unzip it. Like, yeah, it's bullshit. I hate it. I
You
have a
know,
newfound respect for you though.
I'm really worried about is
What?
I'm getting to that point now where like they told me like you're not to be like like you're the strategist, you're the you know you're a key player of like deciding who should do what, how we should do it, by when, all this like unless something goes bad or there's like a red alert, big holiday, everyone's out, like you shouldn't step in and like be helping like IT support, coding dev, QA, all this. And my worry is I might be like my first manager when I joined the company because there was a point. If any of my coworkers watch this one, they'll go back one day and they'll be like, "I heard a really interesting podcast one day." So like one day he called me up like very out of the blue on Skype, which I still am using for work, still PTSD somehow. I have not escaped that purgatory of Skype from our Skype days. And he calls me up and he's like, "I need your help installing a VPN." And I'm like, "Why is he like? Is he testing me?" But no, like I just think like over time from doing like the managerial thing and not doing like hands-on as much anymore, he just forgot how to install a VPN. And I'm like, "What? Like, will that happen to me one day? Like 10 years down the line? Because he's been in the company for like 16 years. Like 10 years down the line, am I just going to like show up to someone and be like?" "Can you install my VPN?" They're gonna be like, "Dude, you're in charge of tech." Like, what? And that's how I felt. I was like, is this test? No, it's just he's no longer like in the game of like
Well,
doing
see,
it.
so we don't mess with like a whole lot of software. Like we do, but we don't. So like we do like clean installs of operating systems. We're not allowed to do anything email wise because the Internet Privacy Act. We do like a whole lot of hardware though. Like I'll do like a builds, stuff like that. The flashing the BIOS thing has become the new hot thing going on in the store right now, and it irritates the shit out of me because every motherboard is a different way to do it. And I'm just like, come up with one way. Come up with one way, guys. We know how to install operating systems in one way. Why can't we figure out BIOS? Like
Exactly.
that and
All these years.
I hate when people build their own computer and they go, so I went into the BIOS. And that's how it always starts. They go, I went into the BIOS. And I have fucked it all up now, and now it is your mess to clean up, basically.
Because my lights wouldn't turn on.
Yeah,
Because
one
my
day,
lights wouldn't turn on. Dude, that drives. When I hear that, I just want to tell them, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out right now. Like, get
how
out here
many
a little bit. Like,
how many times does this happen? All right, I'm about to
a
give advice to
lot.
PTSD. No. This one I'm about to tell you. This is probably about to
Go.
see some real PTSD
What?
because I've had this happen a lot. People be like, "So I built this computer and my RAM speeds aren't what they say they are on the Rams.
Oh, I had that
It says it's
today.
3200, but
I had that today. Like, this guy came in, and I built his computer. He tried to build it, and he got somewhere and got stuck. I ended up finishing the build. And he came in. So first, he comes in, he goes, "Hey, dude, my Wi-Fi's not working." And I was like, "All right." So I slapped in a portable disk drive, threw in the driver, got the driver going. Now he's got Wi-Fi. He goes 20 miles home, turns around, comes back. He goes, "Hey, man, it's not giving me a display." He was not hooking the HDMI port into the graphics card. He was hooking it onto the onboard RAM or onboard motherboard. And for those of you who don't know, when you install a graphics card, it disables the onboard graphics. Thank you, welcome to my TED Talk. Anyway, so then he comes back, I teach him that, and then he comes back and he goes, "Hey man, I got into my BIOS because it told me that's what I should do." And I said, "No, brother, it told you you've moved the computer. BIOS options need to be updated. Hit F1 to continue setup. Just hit F1 and it'll boot up and do everything it needs to do." He did that and he goes, "Oh shit, my computer's running perfectly now." And I'm like, "Welcome to me being a god. You're welcome."
give me $50. Give me $100.
No, I didn't charge him because he'd already spent like $400 getting his build. So also, like, let's talk about the rising price of everything in the PC world. Have you seen the price of graphics cards now?
I mean, I have been on this hill for years. Is that people look, building a computer is a fun little experience. It's not the same justifiable experience as it was 10 years ago. Let's say that. Because it is cheaper to buy a pre-built with everything else and then maybe get like a couple of like here's what I tell people. And I actually just talked to one of my coworkers because oddly enough he's like only Xbox gang. He's never had like a gaming computer, and he's like, when I start getting more paychecks, I'm gonna get a gaming computer. I'm like, look for the graphics card you want attached to a pre-built, even if that son of a bitch ain't that good on RAM, CPU cooler. Like, just that's cheaper. That's better than just I'm going to buy everything and build it, and then God only knows. I ran into a situation with Bolton where he built his PC, and then fucking the CPU didn't even work, or what it was. I forget. Something stupid. It was like the RAM is I think it was a CPU because we ended up using the RAM, the graphics card, CPU cooler. The first go around, it was the power supply didn't work, but then we got the power
Yeah,
supply
that's been a big
and
one.
it worked. I don't know. You had the same issue too with like you bought it from Amazon,
Yeah.
and oddly enough,
So it
Haig was
was
telling me that shit was happening all the time
yeah,
throughout
it
like
was
3 months.
motherboards, power supplies were a big thing for a while that were coming in. I just got another one actually. Another motherboard came in. I got it fully built. Went to turn it on and test it, and I had to call the guy Monday morning and tell him I got to send out for another one because his motherboard is dog shit. So yeah, back to mother. It's usually the micro ones. The micro motherboards are usually the dog shit ones. The full size ones I haven't had much problem out of. Knock on wood, because I got one sitting in the mailbox. Knock on wood that one's gonna work Monday. But the one I slapped in the other PC today worked. So also, why do you take a PC to a PC shop, have them fix it, and then go, "Hey bro, I don't have the money for it." What were you expecting?
What?
Like, it's not free. Like,
Yeah, so
what?
we have so
You can't
we've
do it like
had
Best Buy.
we've
Like,
had multiple PCs come in. We have to slap like a new motherboard in, or a new graphics card, or a new processor, whatever, a cooler, whatever. And like our labor went up $10 this year, so it's instead of $69, it's $79 for labor. Depending on if it's a motherboard, it's a full 180. If it's a build, it's just like 220 or something like that. But anyway, uh, so like we'll do that, and then like after taxes, everything, like say comes out to like $387. They'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna take me a couple months to come up with." No, dude. After 30 days, we're recycling your shit. Like, you have 30 days to come up with the money for your computer. Like, this is not a buy here, pay here. This is not a we fix it for free. Like, we spent $600 getting it fixed. Like,
And you call them
Yeah,
before
and
you
we've
order
called them. Yeah,
before you order the part, saying, "Hey,
yeah,
this
and
is
we
wrong."
yeah, and
Like,
we
do you want
call
to
them. We don't we
continue?
don't we don't just order it and hope for the best. We call them, explain the price. They go do it. Then we do it, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't have the money for it. That's too expensive." And I'm like, "What
So
the?"
I want to know. This is a very probably more personal question for work and all that.
Yeah.
I want to know like the age demographic of these people because like my generation, I feel like is like if we ain't got the money, we ain't fucking doing it because we don't want to be in debt. And I'll give a good example is when I went to get my tattoo, the guy told me he was like, "Hey, I've had a lot of issues recently, and my new policy is you have to do a down payment for your tattoo because a lot of people I would do their tattoo and then they wouldn't give me like the full amount or like they'd pay me over time." He's like, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, I know you're good. You're going to pay me like that day. He's like, but I just, store policy. We have now down payment. And I was like, okay. So I'm kind of curious because it seems like it's happening more and more a lot with other people
Yeah.
I've talked to is like, do you guys have a down payment for one? What are the age demographic of these bastards who are
So
haggling all? I feel like.
so after a recent incident with a computer that sat for 6 months that we finally recycled and then they
And then
showed
they
up.
called the next day.
Yeah, and then they showed up and now he's heartbroken that he doesn't have his PC anymore. What the rule is now,
Right, Xbox.
if your part or if your parts total comes out to over $300, you have to buy those parts up front. You can pay for the labor later because
Yeah.
I'll eat the labor on it. But like those parts, I need the money back because that's coming out of our business account. Like
Yeah.
we have to have the money back ASAP. So like let's say this is the more popular one. You come in with a MacBook, the screen's broken. I need to replace the screen. That's gonna be like say it's like $380 for the screen, right? So I'm gonna charge you the $380 up front so I can order that, know that you've already paid for it, and then I'm gonna replace it. You're gonna come back and pay for the labor, which is like $180 and some change or whatever. So I mean the ticket total is still like five something, but you've already paid. But that's only started recently. Usually we didn't make them pay up front, but now it's you have to pay up front for anything over $300. Um, Now if it depends, the age demographic we don't have an age demographic. It's kind of all over the place. We have customers that are 20 years old, and we got customers that are 90 years old. And to be
All doing
fair,
that?
yeah, like all of
That's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, and mainly those guys are coming in getting like a new hard drive or something like that because they've had it for 20 years and it finally shit out on them.
But they're
Uh,
still not paying you?
no, I mean no. So the most recent one that didn't pay, she's like, I'm not even gonna say she. They were like in their 30s or 40s, and
Well, yeah, they're asking like the demographics of people who are doing this shit, you
so
know.
the age demographic usually is between, I'm gonna say, in the age range of 25 to at least like 35. So like in that 10-year.
Hmm.
So early adult, late, like early to late adult, like in that mid range.
Yeah.
Like the teenagers, like the college students are actually really responsible about getting it paid. Like there was this
Hmm.
kid, he was 19, I think, and after everything we did with him, his shit was like $575. He came in on Monday, it was done on Tuesday, he paid for it on Wednesday. So like,
Nice.
and he came in and paid it all, like up front. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Got it done. He came in, picked it up. Real responsible kid. Now people don't like that anything over 300 rule has to be paid up front because they're like, ooh, and I'm like, well, choose a better line of stuff you're doing. Like PC parts are
Yeah.
expensive, but in the long term, if you treat your PC right, you spend 1,500 with the whole thing, like getting it all from ground up, 1,500, max at least, and you'll have it for. My PC's been running smooth now for the better part of a couple months, so
I mean, yeah, when I couldn't afford a new PC, I made my PC last, I think, 7 to 8 years, and it was still like fairly good playing like newest games, not like super ultra graphics, but still with no issues. Um,
now
it's
do
kind of how you
I
take care of it and what you got at that time.
do I enjoy the fact that I work at a PC shop, and my boss has told me this several times. If anything happens with my PC, if we have it at the shop, I can use it. So like,
Mhm.
he already has me backup processors for when my processor goes out. Like, we already have a backup graphics card for if my graphics card goes out. Like, and getting motherboards is nothing. Like, I could pay for those if I wanted to. We got RAM laying all over the place. Um, Power supplies all over the place. The only thing we don't, well, no, we have a cooler now that's just chilling because I ordered the wrong one. But my bad, chief. I didn't order the wrong one. That dude's motherboard just didn't want to like that cooler. So, but thankfully we had an extra cooler laying around. But that, and then like the amount of people that come in and just throw us their old computers because they sit for like 5 years and they don't want to make them work again. That's been a big thing this week. So
What's the most aggravating part from the PC build for you? That you're like, I hate this portion.
um plug it in the front panel.
Same.
Yeah.
I was so fucking frustrated doing so side story, I don't know if I told this on the podcast. I was playing 2K24 with Dane, and my computer power supply just boop exploded. Just fucking exploded one day. I was pissed. I was like, well, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do. I drove to
Should have
everyone's
called me.
favorite place, Best Buy.
Should have called me. You would have got a discount.
I needed that fucking day
Oh,
for that. For like, I was like, my computer just blew up. Like, the fucking power supply blew up, and I didn't know. I was like, either this whole PC is dead, or it's just power supply. Thank God it was just power supply. But I was like, if it's dead, I'm like fucked a little bit because, you know, I have my, I just got that 2 terabyte NVMe SSD set up with like all the games put on there, but then also just like things throughout the year for like videos and whatnot. I think most of that other stuff, like Family Sentimental, music, everything's on like the external hard drives that could just move over. But like the thing that would take a long ass time re-downloading all those games on like the NVMe SSD, and like shit on like the C drive. But like, yeah, I went to Best Buy, got the power supply. I bought fucking another PC too, just to be like, fuck it, if I don't want to even go back to Best Buy. So luckily, it was just the power supply. But I remember taking all that shit out, putting it back in. That last part that I hated so much was just those stupid
front panel. Yep.
front panel pieces. And how is it it is the year 2024, we're almost going to 2025, how have we not simplified that fucking process? Everything else we have simplified in PC building. That's so easy. It's those damn little
Well,
cables. And for me, I could
some of
not
them
imagine it
are.
for you.
Some of them
Like,
are simplified. Some of them are. Some of them just come in that little piece and you just clip it right on. But most of them are singled out to where you have to do like the one after
the
another.
one at a time.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
other thing that irritates me is some of them you lay in like this, and some of them you have to lay in like that. And
Yeah.
like I hate it because I'm like, oh, it's fucking Russian roulette. This like, and it irritates the shit out of me. That and like, oh my god, dude, I absolutely hate that part. That and probably if you come in with a pre-built and I have to take your motherboard apart and I even see that you have a water cooler and your radiator's up top by your motherboard, I want to punch you in the face immediately. I want to punch you in the face immediately. I want to break your kneecaps, take you out back, and old yeller you. Because, first of all, water coolers are dog shit. I don't know who started that trend, but they're absolute dog shit.
Dude, exactly. Whoever started that bullshit trend years ago, I don't know if it was some random ass tech tick channel that was like getting paid to be like, oh, water coolers are actually good. No, dude, I wrote a whole 5-page article for college one year. Just
I remember this, yeah.
water coolers are bullshit. Air cooling for the win. Noctua fans. Those nasty
Noctua!
ass
Hot
Noctua.
Noctua!
Noctua on that thing. All
I
right,
got like 4
dude.
Noctua stickers on my PC because of my job.
Send me some. Send
Yeah.
me some. I don't think I've ever got a Noctua. I have a sticker collection on my PC.
You don't have a Noctua
I'll,
sticker?
I don't have one. I have
I
like
will send
AMD,
you
all
10
that
of
shit.
them. Give me your address. I'll fucking send you 10 of them because we got
Alright.
like 30 of them at the shop. I just start
Yeah, I
sticking them in
love
places.
putting stickers on my PC because I don't have like a. It's just a black. Everyone else, my sister, my brother, all of them, all their PCs I've set up. They got all the fancy looking ones. Mine, I just got a black case and just slap all my stickers on there. But
Hey, funny story about Noctua coolers. Did you know that you can put them on a PS5?
uh, yeah,
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 we
because
learned that.
the
We learned that the other day when we were watching a YouTube video on it.
120
So,
millimeter fan is that what it is? Like
what?
those ones? Is it like the 120
Yeah,
millimeter
yeah,
fans?
yeah.
I have to look up the.
Yeah, 120, yeah. So, PJ saw a video of it, and we were watching it, and the video, like, the dude did it, like, so now we're going to, I'm going to talk PJ into doing it to his PS5, so I'm going to put
I
it out
think it's
there.
gonna be cold and quiet. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll be able to have the wing on, unless you cut
That's
out,
what I'm thinking too.
you'd have to,
Yeah,
if you do, you have to cut out where the cooler's at.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's kind of like people who deck out their Steam decks, like
Stop it.
you're
Steam
kind
Decks aren't even a
of
thing anymore. Shut up. They suck. They're dog
Steam
water.
Steam decks.
They're dog water.
What are you smoking? They literally are
Brother,
getting me through
three
the
of them.
airport.
3 of them came into my shop this week. I had to turn them away.
Never had an issue with them, and I've owned two of them, bought three of them.
So apparently the hard drive, and apparently if you like look on Reddit, this is a known thing. Apparently their hard drive is like one of the first things that goes.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently they have a bad heating issue.
The first generation, yeah. I have the OLED, no problem. I don't think, but you know, I need to ask Bone where the hell is his Steam Deck because he hasn't played it since he played it a lot when he was in the hospital. That was like his go-to when he was doing all like the chemo stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mine in particular the first gen, heating wise, yeah, I could definitely that was a big one. Like it was loud and had like it was hot as hell, but I don't know, I never had an issue with the speeds, like the hard drive. The RAM was fucking amazing on those things.
Yeah, so
And you know,
apparently the hard
but
drive's the first
OLED
thing that
way
goes.
better now.
Have you looked at the parts for them though?
No, I'm actually curious. Because doesn't Valve have
Brother.
it on their site and everything?
So you could slap if you tried hard enough and did a lot of rink-a-dink things. You could slap a normal SSD in there if you knew how to solder the SATA cables.
Yeah, because it has all the heat piping.
But normally, the two that I've seen come in, they have M2s, which are the little
Mhm.
stick hard drives for those of you who don't
Yeah,
know.
that.
I have an M2 in my PS5 now, so that's great. So much room now. We're gonna get into that in a second, by the way. But yeah, so their hard drive, it looks weird. It's an M2, but it's like it's huge. Like it's like more rectangular, but like it looks kind of like an end of a display port. They're shaped weird. I don't know. They're weird, but they're like $400 for a hard drive for a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
So people don't want
that's
to pay that.
insane. It's crazy because you could just buy a new Steam Deck almost. Like the one that I got, the OLED, the prices are really good. I would say that even for the issues that they may have, it sounds like the
So
Gen 1 lowest tier was literally $420, which is phenomenal in today's age. And then you just spend like $200 more, you get the max tier for like a terabyte,
did
and
you
it's
hear that
OLED and
the
everything.
Do you hear that the ROG came out with a handheld now?
I don't. I look. I have played all the other like little handhelds, the Asus, ROG shit,
That's what I'm
the
talking about.
One
Yeah.
X, the One X player. I think the One X player is the only one that I'd go to bat for personally. There's the like the Nvidia thing they had. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It wasn't
Yeah.
the Nvidia Shield, but it was. Um, I Steam Deck is best for the price. Then One X player, I think in terms of like actual performance, those other ones it kind of like it's like the PlayStation Portable one they have now or whatever that's
Yeah.
called. It's like, why would you buy that shit if you need internet for it? Like the whole point of the Steam Deck is I just boot that bitch up. I can get it. The Steam Deck does really good on battery too. I don't know about those other ones. I know the One X player was like kind of on battery, but like if I'm going on a plane ride or whatever, like I want to be able to play it for hours on end. Like Sparking Zero modded, 2K, Pro Wrestling Sim, all the emulator games. Like they lasted for the plane ride, like other stuff. You know, it's
So
like why do you want to play an online game on the handhelds personally?
before before we get into
Unless that's your
wrapping this up,
main thing.
before we get into wrapping this up, because I know how you are with your hour timelines. Uh,
Yeah,
can we not talk about why the PS5 took a step backwards?
that's kind of crazy. I would not. I don't know who. PlayStation's taken some massive L's recently between a lot of their games and decision. Like, I mean, Xbox making out like a fat bandit right now because of Call of Duty on Game Pass. Like literally all of my coworkers are like, "Dude, I paid like $10 for that for Call of Duty this year
So
instead of
listen,
like 90 all that." So
listen. I've had every PlayStation on the sun. You know this. I've never strayed away from fucking PlayStation. The PS4, you go to Walmart, buy an external hard drive of whatever size you wanted, hook it up, all the games in the world if you wanted to fill that thing up, and it would run. You didn't have to move anything. You just had to download it to the hard drive and it would work. You could play it, didn't have to move it, you could play it immediately. PS5, they made it to where you had to buy an M2 hard drive to put, and then you have to disassemble the PlayStation a little bit, take the wing off at least.
yeah, keep going.
Yeah. And then take the safety cover off and install the M2. And make sure if you just have a regular PC M2, you have to put thermal pads on it so it doesn't explode in your PlayStation. But then the PlayStation ones have a heatsink on it, so you don't have to worry about that. But you have to have an M2 in order to have more than whatever the space is on your hard drive, whether it be 500 or a terabyte. And then the games themselves are fucking 200 gigs now. Call of Duty, Fortnite, 2K. Mad went too bad. Mad was 80, so.
Arkin Zero wasn't bad at all. I think what was like 60.
Sparky Zero on PlayStation was like 35.
Yeah, it was not much compared to every other game you just mentioned. It was pretty
Yeah,
damn good for how much is in that game.
yeah.
So
And it's just it. I don't understand. And then like now they have the PlayStation Slim, which I imagine is only worse to work on. So they just took a massive step backwards, and I don't understand why. But before we wrap this up, few ideas for the podcast. Obviously, before the end of 2025, we really want to plan to do this in person. I am fucking wanting to do that. Like, I'm not giving up on this podcast. I'm back. We're gonna be on my ass if you have to be. Be on my ass. We're gonna do this weekly again. Me and you are off on the weekends again, so we can get this going again. So, but we can get this going weekly. I want to do it in person one day. I don't care what we have to do. If we have to meet Midway or in West Virginia, North Carolina, Arkansas, fucking Missouri,
North
somewhere.
Carolina.
North Carolina. Anyway, also for those of you wrestling fans, cinema's back on the menu, boys. The Bloodline is back.
I got Motor City in WWE. I'm really happy right now.
Bro, I was talking you up that night when they won the tag titles. I said, I bet somewhere Dominic is in his bed crying because the Motor City Machine Guns are not just signed, not just on the main roster, but the tag team champions.
Like there is a 13-year-old boy inside E-Fetter with a Chris Sabin pick rep right now. Just tears
Blasting.
rolling down his face. So he was the embodiment of generic white guys could make it. All right.
Generic
Shout out
charisma vacuums.
shout out to custom wrestler number one.
Custom wrestling number one. Shout out to Hale Sabin. No, it's been a good time. I've been watching. I stopped watching AEW like almost completely.
It's rough. It's rough, dude. It's
Like I tuned
that's
in.
a rough one.
I think we watched All In because of Osprey and then the Danielson match. We watched.
Pay-per-views are still good,
Did we
but there's
watch?
no reason to watch Collision.
I think that's the only one we
I
Yeah.
so this what was it? Dynamite? I think like 2 weeks ago or something. It was like yeah. So it was Jericho won the ROH title, and I think that was the bullet for Zach when we watched it. He was like, I don't even. He's like, I don't want to watch the rest of this show. And I think like more stupid shit happened, but that was the one where like, wow, they Mark Briscoe lost to Chris Jericho on Dynamite for the ROH title, and all this other nonsense happened. And it was like, wow, they just did that, and it's are they doing it for this little TV deal they're talking about? And if so,
Okay, I understand because you can't put Mark Briscoe as the face of the
TV
brand.
deal, yeah.
Yeah, you
Starting
can't.
off, whatever, yeah.
You can't.
It's kind of like Hangman, like he gets it eventually, but
But I think you had more promising. Kyle Fletcher could have took the Ring of Honor World Title.
yeah, but he's not gonna be like the face guy that like I guess they wanted like a name value face. I mean, fuck, have Joe come back and get it and have like mega heel heat with Mark Briscoe or
Well,
something. But
Samoa Joe is Ring of Honor. Adam Cole's still there. Roderick Strong's still there. Kyle O'Reilly. Who else was from Ring of Honor that was there? Do they still have Dalton Castle or no?
I hope they do, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh
Dalton
no, they
Castle.
do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Dalton Castle. Daniels, Christopher Daniels is still there. Uh, Jimmy Jacobs, fuck, I think he's still there.
No,
No,
I think he was the fall guy. They blamed him for a lot of creative shit.
no, and then Hero is still there, isn't he? I know he's still fat, but like Hero's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't want a fat guy to be. Well, I know you got Jericho, so.
Nigel McGuinness.
Ah, Nigel! You could have Nigel beat. I believe Nigel would beat Mark Briscoe.
So
Osprey, you could have had Osprey take it. Like,
I guess it'll just be we put it on Jericho to see if we get a TV deal type of deal, which sure, whatever
I
business
mean, it
wise, but
worked for AEW in the beginning,
it did. That's the thing,
but
But I mean,
also,
how many years are we after
well,
now for RH to get a TV
not only
deal?
that, when they got the AEW deal in the first place, Jericho was still white hot because he came off the New Japan thing with Kenny and Naito, and then we were promised Kenny and Jericho in AEW. We got Jericho and Cody. Cody fizzled out in AEW, and then like Kenny and Jericho again. Kenny takes it from Jericho, and like
Jericho and MGF, all
Jericho
that.
MJF, that was great. And
The Inner Circle starting off, yeah,
I
with
don't even
Sammy.
know when the Jericho thing fell out because Jericho was hot for a long time in AEW.
Jericho and it's inner circle and pinnacle. I think that's when after that whole storyline concluded, I think that might be when it kind of went downhill.
Yeah, and well then we kicked it back up again when we thought Jericho and Sting were gonna do a thing because they were the last two WCW holdouts that never touched. Like we never got Jericho versus Sting, and we had the iconic moment where it was Bat versus Bat, with Floyd versus Sting's Bat, and like you that look, say what you will about Jericho, but that still makes money, like. And AW desperately needs to start selling some tickets. I've seen videos of their last couple shows and not looking too great. Though, real fast before we wrap things up, Bound for Glory. Did you see the attendance for that?
Yeah, I think they did pretty good, right?
That was phenomenal. Yeah. That was I think they said it was their largest paid attendance in like 15 years.
Joe Hendry's still not world champ, so I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but whatever.
I think he's gone. I think he's out of TNA
I think,
now.
yeah, just let him go to WWE and just succeed at this point. Like, props off to JBL and Nick Nemeth, though.
Well,
So.
I mean, JBL's even said he's there scouting for Triple H. Like, he literally has said that openly. I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think WWE's got something going on with TNA. I think they're ECW in it. I think they're bankrolling it for a little bit.
I really hope Baron Corbin goes there.
I'm not gonna shit on your Baron Corbin bandwagon because I was singing the
What?
praises for
Isn't
all
he your
night.
boy? Like he's like your representation. Like you know how Chris Sabin's mine. Like isn't Baron Corbin yours?
No, I fucking hate Baron Corbin.
You hate? No, come on. It's because you have so much in common with him.
What do I have in common with bum ass Baron Corbin?
The hair, the tattoos, the football kind of background. You know,
Oh
like
shit, I guess we do have a lot in common, yeah. Alright.
no,
I mean he's not too bad. I just
no.
when they got rid of the lone wolf, that's when it well, I don't know, I liked bum ass Baron Corbin. That gimmick was funny.
Last Corbin was pretty funny.
Bum ass Corbin was
Yeah,
good, and then
yeah.
he hit the
Happy
jackpot,
Corbin, Sad Corbin.
hit the jackpot
Yeah.
and then lost it all again. I think when they put Madcap with him, that was
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
yeah, that was horrible for me.
The JBL thing too.
No,
No,
I
just.
liked that. I liked that for a minute. That had promise. That had
But I just
promise.
didn't go anywhere with it. Like if they would have been like JBL's, mooching money off of him or something, like
Yeah, that'd have been funny. And then he could have like
or
got
like
Ted
Cameron
DiBiase and like
Grimes, like they had Cameron Grimes had money, Baron Corbin had money, JBL had money. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Cameron
you know,
Grimes thought he was gonna go to the moon, but he went to the unemployment line. But
that's
anyway,
kind of crazy.
yeah, I don't know. He did a match in TNA though.
Yeah.
They did like a whole Trevor Lee comeback thing, and like he had a match. I don't even know if he won. I didn't watch it. I don't watch. I watch true injury
I
shit in TNA. I don't watch TNA.
I think we're about to hit a very sad period in wrestling right now, where a lot of wrestlers can't afford to be wrestlers. Because I just read like a couple people are retiring. I think like Marco Stunt is another
Marco
one.
Stunt's retiring
Like a bunch.
because he formed a band,
Oh, okay.
and he's a really good singer. Do you not remember Emo Night on
Yeah.
GCW? Yeah,
Well, I remember him singing with Jericho on the cruise and all that. So like,
yeah, that too. Yeah. He's really good. Uh, I don't know about not being able to afford. Look, buddy, we live in a world where promotions can't keep up with WWE, and they keep trying. They
yeah,
thought when Vince left that WWE was gonna fucking tank, and WWE didn't just not tank. They
it got better.
surpassed. They
It got
surpassed what
better.
they were doing. Yeah, like look.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania 40 was the big one for me. That was the eye opener for me when WrestleMania 40 kicked off and that camera span around the arena and there was more seats than the previous year. I was like, we'll be fine. And then we go to France. We kicked ass in France, Germany, Australia. Now we're back in Blood Money Saudi, which Triple H is trying to get out of that deal. I guess that's what I've heard. I don't know.
Hell in a Cell, freaking actual blood.
Yeah,
Like,
actual blood
you
in Hell in a
know,
Cell. CM Punk didn't tear his pec in a match.
light tubes in a WWE video game.
Was that added or is that a mod?
No, that's added. That's in the ECW DLC with Punk and all them.
That's crazy. I haven't even tried that
I,
yet. That's insane.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, we're
crazy.
so back.
By the
We're
way,
so back.
speaking of we're so back, I'm also gonna bring back my cough ed, and she's gonna get to hear me do commentary. So that's gonna be a big thing. And I'll say it here, I don't think the E-Fed's coming back. I don't see...
I was gonna say, you have enough time for that?
I don't see me sitting down for 2 days writing a fucking show anymore. And if I
Chat
do...
GPT that thing.
If I do write a show at 27 years of age, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go watch that show that I wrote be performed in a fucking arena. So
By those people too.
yeah, by those people. I'm gonna write. I already have to write a thing for me and Tim to do at the next fucking show. So
No, I was talking about the DRW people. I just imagining those guys wrestling. That'd be funny.
No, Chris Hero's gonna win his 128th, 29th, whatever world title.
Okay, Jeff Jarrett, make yourself world champ again.
Hey, look, all right. If Ric Flair can do it, I can do it. But yeah, no. So it's gonna be a big thing. I got a few shows coming up November 9th, Native American Wrestling in Chewy, Oklahoma. It's gonna be a big show. Connor will be there. He's gonna be managing the world champion. Some big things are gonna be going on there. That's all I got for the shows. November 9th. Well, we are planning on doing a second show in November. I don't know when.
He hasn't
But
given us a date
Yeah, I haven't got a date for that yet, but we got that going on. We're sponsored by Ozark Computer Works now. The next episode, I think we're gonna bring Ricky in. I think we're gonna have Ricky on the next episode. He's got some
Nice.
big things going on. He's no longer moving to New Mexico, so
That's really good.
yeah, it's really good. He's smartened up on that. But I gotta take a severe piss. I've been holding this the whole podcast, so we're gonna wrap this one on. Dominic, it's been good. It's been good talking to you again, brother. I'm sorry I've been
Always
gone for
good.
a minute, but we're back. We're so back. We're
We're so
fucking
back.
back. I'm gonna get the Scott Moore video right here for the "We're fucking back." So, peace out, gamers.
See you later, gamers.